Hey guys, so it's Tuesday and usually I go live on Tuesdays, but I couldn't go live today because the kids are home and I wouldn't be able to really edit out any potential interruptions. So I figured I would just film this for you guys, set it up the way we do for lives, and still, cook something for you guys. And yeah, hopefully it works out. So if I ever can't go live, I'll try to do this, see how you guys like it, and we'll go from there. So today we are going to be making clam chowder soup. It's one of my favorite soups after chicken and wild rice. But yeah, this is budget friendly and you don't really have to try hard to make it budget friendly. It's just naturally budget friendly. And God knows we're all trying to do things on a budget. I also made some bread earlier today. This is the bread I made. So I'm gonna serve it with some of this bread for dipping. You can also do, like the oyster crackers or whatever, but bread is good. So I have that. So let's go ahead and get started. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I've actually been thinking about our budget menus and I have some great ideas. We'll discuss those with you guys soon. I did make a post about it, but we'll get there, okay? So in a heavy bottom pot, I'm just gonna put in 2 tablespoons of butter and get that melting. You're going to need 1 large onion and 3 cloves of garlic. I had some shallots left over, so I'm using shallots, but a yellow sweet onion is good. So I've got that. So while that's melting, I'll talk to you guys. So I looked up some information on budgets, how much like a minimum wage family would spend on groceries for a week, like a family of 4. And the number that I got was $130 to $165, $175 a week for a family of 4 for minimum wage family. So that is going to be the budget I'm going to be using per week. If you guys want to make any changes to that budget, we can absolutely do that. And we can go from there. I already have a menu set up for us and everything. Okay, so the butter is melted. Now I'm going to add in my onion and garlic. And get this sauteing. You just want it to be translucent. Okay, and in here, I have a cup of chicken broth, and I also have 3 cups of milk. You can also use half and half. So with the half and half, it'll be a little bit thicker. But I also don't like a super thick soup. I like for it to still be soup. So I just mixed them in here together. And if you don't have chicken broth, you can use the chicken bouillon powder. You can use, whatever you have that you use for chicken broth. You can have, your homemade chicken broth. If you don't have any of that, just use water. Okay. And then to this, we're going to add a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. And we will get our roux going. Okay, and it's getting pretty dry in here, as you can see. So I'm going to just slowly add a little bit of our mixture of broth and milk. Just a little bit. And this will slowly thicken. And then we're going to turn this down. We're going to add the rest in. Oops. Just knock that over. And we'll just let this come to a simmer. Now I do like a lot of fresh parsley in mine, so adjust that to your liking. This is all the parsley I'm using. I'm going to put half in right now, and I'm going to leave half for garnish. And just like scrape the bottom. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. And then this is our celery. You're going to need about 3 or 4 sticks of celery. And see, this is already getting pretty thick because of the flour. So if you add half and half, it will be a lot thicker, but again, that's up to you. And then I've got 3 small russet potatoes. I left the skin on. I just washed them really well. So if you don't like the skin on, obviously don't use it. If you don't have potatoes and you want to use the canned potatoes, you can do that. It's up to you. That's going. We are going to use 2 cans of the clams. You can use 3 if you like it extra clammy, but you want to use the clams with the juice. And I don't like the minced ones. These are chopped, so they're a little bit bigger. So here's 1, 2. And then to this, you can add 8 ounces of clam juice. Instead of clam juice, I'm going to be using clam sauce. This one just gives it like a little bit of more of like a rich flavor. They're about the same price, clam juice and clam sauce, at my store from what I saw. This one just has like more garlic in it. It basically has all of the flavors that we're adding into our clam chowder, but it does have an addition of basil, just a little bit. Just make sure it's the white clam sauce. And this does give it a little extra richness too. Okay, so I'm gonna add this in, and it does have some clams in there. So you can use 3 cans of the clams if you're not using the clam sauce. Give this a good mix. And we're going to add some Worcestershire sauce. Okay, as you guys know, this does have some anchovy in it to balance things out slightly. Okay, you're going to need about 3 tablespoons. Okay, so for the seasonings, we are going to be using some coarse black pepper, smoked paprika or sweet paprika, that's up to you. You're going to need about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt just to start off, just because some of these things already have a little bit of salt in them. You're going to need a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano and a 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. So we're just going to add that in right now. And mine is a little bit of a yellowish color because my paprika is mixed with a little bit of saffron because it's for paella. It's my paella paprika. I just really prefer that one for anything fish related if I'm adding paprika to it, but any paprika will work. So we're just gonna let this simmer with the lid on for about 15 minutes. Or until everything is fork tender. Okay, so while this is cooking, I do want to talk to you guys about our upcoming budget meals. So like I said, I did look up information on budgets for low income and like minimum wage incomes, and how much people, like for like a family of 4, spend for groceries per week. And that's not including SNAP, just in case anybody did lose their SNAP benefits. And like I said, like the answer that I got was like between 130 to 160, 170. It just kind of varies and it depends on your state. So if yours is different, let me know and we can adjust it to your area. But so I was thinking that I could post every week for grocery day. If you guys want to basically have, go grocery shopping together, I'm gonna do it kind of like these meal boxes, right? Where I buy the week's groceries with the budget that we have set up, and I put everything in a box and put that in the fridge and have little cards, basically, kind of like the meal order companies. So I want to have our box ready. I'll have the recipe card ready for us, like for each meal that we're gonna make, and then we can make that meal together. And by the end of the week, we'll be able to track everything. But yeah, if you need something replaced or something, let me know. If you have special dietary restrictions, let me know. But so we'll get the proteins, we'll get the grains, we'll get everything that we need, but it will be budget friendly, and it's not going to be like weird, like we're not going to be missing out on anything, because we can still make like, desserts and things like that are budget friendly, that will keep us within our budget. So that's the plan. I also have the less than $100 for the Thanksgiving menu that I'm planning. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. I have done something like that. It was a 5-course meal for $100 for Christmas. I have done that before, and it worked out great. And we stayed within budget, and it was wonderful. So yeah. So just FYI, since I am not a person who eats pork, that is not a protein that you will see in my lists. So if, for example, we're making chicken and you want to replace it with pork, you're more than welcome to do that. Just, balance out the budget and just make sure that it fits into the budget. But other than that, everything else should work out just fine. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. We can aim for like $100 a week for the budget, and see where that puts us. But you guys let me know, because I'm seeing like the lowest I'm seeing is like 130. So let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna let this simmer and we'll check on it and we'll go from there. Our soup is done. Going to serve it, and if it tastes a little bit salty to you, add a little bit more milk to it. You can add a little bit more cream. It's up to you. If it's not salty enough, obviously add some salt to it. But here's our soup. Okay, so this bread is actually a thyme bread with flaxseed. So this is the bread. And this is our soup. Okay, delicious. And of course, we garnish. And here's the bread. Yummy. I love the corner piece, because, okay, hold on, let me show you. Delicious. Let me know what you think, and also if you have any suggestions or comments about our upcoming budget meals, please feel free to add them in the community post. All right, I love you guys.